The neurologist ripped the sensors off my foster son and screamed for security. The monitor revealed he had the exact brain signature of my dead son. I read the glowing red text 3 times. Warning, cortical signature duplication. Existing patient record from 2020. Elena gripped my arm, her nails digging into my skin. What the hell does a neural duplicate mean? She hissed. I opened my mouth, but my throat seized. The clinic director, Dr. Vance, stormed in behind a frantic technician. Vance slammed his hand onto the keyboard, bypassing the lockout. The technician's hands were violently shaking. This is mathematically impossible, she stammered. The AI must be hallucinating. Vance turned to us, his face drained of all color. When was this boy's last mapping scan? This is his first, Elena said, shielding the confused 3-year-old on the exam table. He's a ward of the state. We finalized the adoption on Friday. The doctors exchanged a horrifying look. Our diagnostic grid relies on synaptic fingerprinting, Vance whispered slowly. It is designed to detect severe cognitive trauma. It is flagging that these exact brainwave frequencies were recorded in our database 4 years ago. When? I choked out. October 2020. That's a glitch, Elena snapped. He wasn't even born yet. I know, Vance said, his voice dropping. The previous scan belongs to a different child. He didn't have to say it. The sterile room felt like a vacuum. Normally, privacy laws bind me, Vance continued, turning the heavy monitor. But this defies physics. The previous patient was your biological son. That's when the real bombshell dropped. I felt like I had been hit by a freight train. Elena stared at me, her eyes wide. Your son, the one who? Yeah, I whispered. The balcony collapsed. Julian was exactly 3 years old when the apartment structural failure buried him. The room fell dead silent, save for the rhythmic beeping of the EEG machine. Vance pulled up the 2 cerebral heat maps side by side. This is Julian's scan from his sleep study in 2020. And this is your foster child from today. They were identical, not similar, symmetrical. The same trauma flares, the same delta wave resting pace, the exact synaptic voltage down to the micromillimeter. Heat climbed my neck and my vision blurred. Are you telling me this orphan has my dead son's brain? I demanded. I have practiced neurology for 20 years, Vance breathed. I have no scientific explanation. I remembered the night before the collapse. Julian couldn't sleep. I sat by his crib, holding his tiny hand. I'll always find you in the dark, I had promised him. It was just a silly bedtime comfort. 2 days later, a concrete beam crushed my entire world. I spent 3 agonizing years in grief counseling. I eventually learned to breathe again. I met Elena at a charity drive. She bravely navigated my shattered pieces. We got married, and when she suggested we foster a child, I was terrified. Terrified of failing another boy. But I agreed. And now, staring at the screen, staring at the exact date of the anomaly, October 14th, Julian's birthday. The technician restarted the live feed. The monitor pulsed. A resting heart rate of 110. It was Julian's exact resting rate. I had memorized it from the ICU monitors. Elena was staring at me. Do you think it's him? She whispered, finding his way back to the dark. I wanted to claim it was a catastrophic server error, a digital ghost. But looking at the boy on the table, a profound, heavy peace anchored my chest. We drove home in absolute silence. Finally, Elena reached across the console. I'm not terrified, she said softly, because if he fought this hard to come back, he chose us twice. I looked at my brilliant wife, who loved me enough to share my haunted heart. That night, I pulled Julian's old wooden blocks from the attic. I set them on the rug next to the boy. Welcome home, Julian, I whispered. He smiled.